Today, I'm making a grasshopper pie in honor of St. Patrick's Day. And the recipe I'm using comes from this book. It is the Philadelphia brand cream cheese cookbook. This was published in 1981 in honor of Philadelphia brand cream cheese's 100th anniversary. I've done some recipes from this book before, and we'll talk more about it a little bit later. So, grasshopper pie, not necessarily Irish, but it is green and it is minty, and dishes that are green and minty seem to get associated with St. Patrick's Day. Think a shamrock shake, for instance. The grasshopper pie is based on the grasshopper cocktail. Again, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk more about that later. There's lots and lots of variations on this dessert, but the one that I chose is cream cheese based. I'm gonna start by making the crust for my grasshopper pie, and that is Oreos and melted butter. It says melted margarine in the recipe. I'm just going for butter. The crust consists of 24 Oreo cookies, the cream-filled sandwich cookies. What I am using Oreos though, by the way. I'm going to add a few more Oreos and like another tablespoon of butter because I want to make some additional crumbs to garnish the top of the pie. I'll make a note of that when I put the recipe in the description below the video. I'm gonna do this in like a food processor. I recently made a mocha mud pie a few weeks ago, and it basically had the same crust. And this worked so well. Sometimes I opt to crush graham crackers and cookies and things with just a rolling pin, which is fine if you don't want to get out your food processor or you don't have one. This does make a much finer crumb though, and it kind of like presses into the bottom more easily. I have 5 tablespoons of melted butter here. Scoot that over a bit. So you can pulse it a few times and then scrape down the sides, mix it all in. I'm gonna take just a couple tablespoons, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons of this crumb and butter mixture and just kind of set it aside. I wanna crumble some over the top of the pie. Pour this in a pie plate. It says a 9-inch pie plate. I think mine's about 9.5. Then I'm gonna press this into the bottom and the sides of the pie plate. I'm gonna wash my hands again real quick. I usually just do this with my hands. You can also use the flat, like bottom of a measuring cup. I might actually take a few more tablespoons of these crumbs. Just a little bit more. I have a lot of crumbs here. I thought about doing this in a square pan too. If you're gonna do like a crust this way, sometimes it's just easy to put the crumbs in the bottom of a square pan so then you don't have to worry about the sides too. But we're making a pie, so I'm gonna make it in a pie dish. I wanted to show you the finished crust before I put this in the refrigerator. I am going to refrigerate this while I prepare the filling for my grasshopper pie. The reason I wanted to try this specific recipe is because the cream cheese is really intriguing me here. I saw a lot of different types of grasshopper pies. I saw anything from marshmallows to vanilla pudding mix to marshmallow cream, whipped cream, Cool Whip, all kinds of things. So maybe this one's like a little non-traditional, but I wanted to give it a try anyway. I'm also making this non-alcoholic, so I did not want to buy creme de menthe because we don't drink. We're not gonna finish a bottle of it. I have 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese in this bowl. I'm gonna break that up just a little bit with my hand mixer. To that, I am going to add 1/4 cup of sifted confectioners sugar. And this is where you would add 2 tablespoons of creme de menthe. I'm gonna go with just mint extract. I looked into this and I thought maybe I'll make a mint syrup to sort of make up for what's missing. But according to what I found, you don't really need to make up that 2 tablespoon volume of liquid. It should be fine just with this. I did go for mint extract rather than peppermint. They are kind of different. It's more of like a spearmint, I guess. Yeah, definitely. Woo! Definitely more of a spearminty kind of thing. I'm also missing out on the green color, so I'm gonna be dyeing this green. Do I want to add a little more? I can smell the mint, but I kind of want it to be a little mintier, I think. I also don't want to go overboard. Maybe I'll just go a little bit more. And I also want to add my food coloring. Let's go like another 1/4 teaspoon or so. Green food coloring. Oh my gosh, it's delightful. Do I want to go more green? Let me get this mixed in. I think I might go a little darker with the green. It's a lovely pastel. And usually on camera, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but usually they show up even, like the colors show up even a little bit lighter. A little more, a little more. I think that's about right for where I want it. So I'm gonna set this aside and work on my whipped cream mixture. I swear, I just cleaned this apron. I just washed it and ironed it because it had powdered sugar on it from a previous video. Oh yeah, when I made my apple cake. And I just measured my powdered sugar and it got all over again. It's fine. I'm so messy when it comes to powdered sugar. So I have a nice big bowl here and I'm going to place 2 cups of heavy cream in there. And then in this bowl, I have 1 1/4 cups of sifted powdered sugar, confectioner sugar. That, remember, so the first 1/4 cup went into the cream cheese mixture. So I need to do this gradually. It says, gradually add remaining sugar to cream, beating until stiff peaks form. All right, I'm probably gonna mute the sound here because this does not sound good, these whisks on a metal bowl. Okay, they whip cream like so quick. So I'm gonna add my next bunch of powdered sugar. Oh my gosh, it's thickening so fast. I'm gonna scrape and then add the last of the powdered sugar. This is not taking very long at all. I also thought about like, should I add mint to this? I don't know. I don't wanna overdo. When I fold this into the other part of the filling, I will taste test and see, do I need more mint? Okay, this is the last of the powdered sugar. Stiff peaks. Need to fold that into that. I always go, ooh, there's a cardinal. I try to go really big. This is like the biggest metal mixing bowl I have when I'm mixing that much whipped cream, because otherwise it's gonna fly out everywhere. I wanna go in this direction. I think I can handle it, we'll see. And I didn't dye the whipped cream mixture. I'm gonna see what it looks like. All right, I'm trying to be gentle. Trying to be gentle. The green is a lot heavier than the white mixture, the white whipped cream. Fold into cream, yes. I'm just making sure I'm going in like the right order and stuff. I try to test these recipes and like when I try them, I try to get there like, I don't know, 90% of the way in terms of ingredients and like method and stuff. If I see something that's glaringly like, oh, that's not gonna work, sometimes I'll change it. It's not everyone's cup of tea, I'll say that. If I'm doing something you don't like, I don't wanna stress you out. I don't wanna add stress to your life. So if I'm doing something you don't like, you are able to not watch. I'm not trying to say that to be mean. I'm being like sincere here. I've had a couple of comments where people are like, I don't like that you did that or whatever. And I'm like, I don't want you to feel bad when you watch my videos. Okay? Okay. Let's just change the channel to happier things that you enjoy. This is gonna take a minute. Okay, I did get in here with a whisk. I think it's gonna be fine. It's still very light and fluffy, like you can see, woo. And I have to refrigerate it anyway, so I don't think it's gonna like hurt the lightness or anything. Sometimes, you know, when you fold things in, usually it's because you need to be really gentle. I was still pretty gentle. There were just some lumps in there that like weren't going away. I think I'm gonna add more green to this. It's gotten much lighter. I'm gonna taste it. I'm just gonna taste filling real quick. Just wanna see if it's minty enough. I'm thinking shamrock shake is what I'm going for. I think it's minty enough. Yeah, it's minty enough. It's just not green enough for me. Gosh, I'm gonna have to get a new tube of green gel. Green gel food coloring. All right. Oh no, is that too much? I'm gonna go ahead and mix this in. It's gonna take a minute. But when I come back, we're gonna pour this mixture into the Oreo crust from earlier. Okay, that's a lot of filling. Is it even gonna all fit in here? My pie plate's even a little bit bigger than what's recommended. Maybe it's not quite as deep. You know, if it doesn't all fit, that's okay. I'm sure that I could put this in like little custard cups and refrigerate it too. It would be delightful. The other thing I wanted to say about this filling, one of the reasons I kind of went in this direction with cream cheese rather than like Cool Whip and marshmallow and stuff, I didn't want this to be overly sweet. And it seemed like that it could definitely veer into that territory with some of those other ingredients. I have no doubt that that style of pie is also delicious. Just wanted to try something a little different. I already love how it looks. Also, I mean, maybe you have noticed that a few times I've started just creating one recipe per video. This is one of those videos, you know, about once a month. And it's just kind of allowing me to make something like this where I have to put this together and then I have to refrigerate it for several hours or overnight. Usually overnight is best. So I'm not gonna be able to sample this pie until tomorrow. But yeah, I can do recipes that take a little bit longer when I only do one per video. So occasionally, you know, as long as people are still liking that, I'm probably gonna just do that maybe once a month or so. This is fun. This is fun. You know, I have a favorite offset spatula. It's this one. I have more than one, and you know, it seems like even though I have multiple, it's like the correct angle for me and everything. I just like this one a lot. No flat pies for us, huh? It's working itself out. I am making this for St. Patrick's Day, but you know, if it works out, this could also be another good thing for Easter time. Whoa, a nice pastel looking dessert. Got a little crumb in there, but I'm gonna put crumbs on this anyway. And this is why you do things like saving crumbs. You know, the top's not perfect, but we're gonna cover it anyway. I might have saved too much. I was gonna do a design, but I think I'm just gonna crumble. Yeah, I definitely saved too much. We're gonna have to use these for something else. Oh no. Here's what we're working with. Yep, it smells like mint and Oreo, which winning combination in my book. But I have to refrigerate this. I'm just gonna let it go overnight. We're not gonna finish this pie today, and that's all right. I planned for it that way. So I'll come back tomorrow and give it a taste. Beautiful, there it is. It's not quite been 24 hours, maybe like 22 hours, but it feels pretty solid. So I have a server. My knife is back here. I'm warming it up in some warm water. When I'm cutting a dessert or a pie like this, especially a frozen or a refrigerated kind of thing, I like to warm up the knife. And then I also like to have a little piece of paper towel to clean the knife as I go. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. Oh, light, fluffy. It's like cutting through a cloud. I didn't cut the whole pie. I wanted like a single wedge. It's not a perfect wedge, but that's okay. Also, the first piece of a pie or dessert like this, just not the easiest to get out, is it? We're gonna try. Oh, it's looking, oh, okay. You can see how spongy, fluffy this is, you know? Yeah. Okay, I'm really excited to taste it. I didn't get a fork. I do need one, and I got one. Okay, wow, I can smell the mint. Very exciting. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. It's not overly sweet. That was my goal. That was my goal with this. The cream cheese kind of cuts the sweetness of the powdered sugar that's in this, but it's still light and fluffy because of the whipped cream. Nice and minty. You could probably up the mint a little bit if you wanted to, if you did what I did and subbed in some mint extract, but with that Oreo crust, the chocolate and the mint together, just delicious. Today I made a grasshopper pie from this cookbook. Let's scoot up so you can see the cover a little bit better. The Philadelphia brand cream cheese cookbook, published in 1981, a very good year. For the 100th anniversary of Philadelphia brand cream cheese. Design-wise, it's got my favorite, like one of my favorite bindings. I love a spiral or a double ring, like metal ring binding, something that allows you to make the cookbook really lay flat. And I like this size of cookbook too. It's just really good. I see this book a lot in like half-price books. I see it in thrift stores. It's out there. So if you want a copy, they're available. You know, I do have one previous video where I made some cream cheese appetizer recipes from this book. So I'll go ahead and link that in the description down below. Yeah, so 1981, that's, you know, a very stylish kitchen for 1981. We have lots of photographs of the food, and we have some product packaging, my favorite. You know I love it. I mean, I talked about it in my last video where I also made some cream cheese recipes. I don't know why this keeps happening. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I am not sorry at all. I'm having a lot of fun with these, and I hope you are too. There's an entire chapter dedicated to cheesecakes, and here are a few of them. Elegant cheesecakes, sweet potato cheesecake, holy cow, that sounds good. Special occasion cheesecake and centennial cheesecake. I mean, a sweet potato cheesecake, incredible. That sounds incredible. A peppermint cheesecake, you know, a cousin to my grasshopper pie maybe. And I didn't think that my recipe had a photograph included, but I was wrong because there it is. It looks pretty similar to mine, I would say. You know, they decorated theirs a little bit differently. They put some chocolate shavings. They made sure the top had some beautiful swoops on it. I didn't do that because I just sprinkled Oreo crumbs on the top, and I think it turned out great. So this book has a lot of recipes in it for main dishes, snacks, desserts, side dishes, appetizers. Ooh, look at those. Don't you want those? We've got some Jell-O molds in here. I mean, there's one right on the cover. We even have a chapter of recipes for 2 people. That's a favorite subject of mine because I do live in a small household. I'm always cutting recipes in half. If you've been here for a while, you know that. Oh my gosh, look, the Philly fruit pizza, a classic. I wonder if this is similar to the one that I used to make growing up. Yes, a roll of refrigerated sugar cookie dough. Yep, that's the base that we used to use. A container of Philadelphia brand cream cheese, sugar, vanilla. So we actually used to mix cream cheese and Cool Whip together, similar to what I did for that pie. And that's sort of what we would put on the bottom of our fruit pizza. And then we would decorate it with like strawberries, kiwi, pineapple, blueberries, whatever you want. If you haven't had one of those, I mean, it's classic. It's delicious. It's a very refreshing dessert, something really nice to take to a party or cook out in the spring or summer. People love it. It's just like a light and tasty thing, you know? So Grasshopper Pie is based on the grasshopper cocktail. So according to what I can find, the grasshopper was invented around 1918. These things are always just a little bit murky. I'm basing my information off of Wikipedia. I will link the Wikipedia article in the description down below if you want to read through it. There is a specific restaurant in New Orleans that they claim to have invented this drink. You know, whatever. Like I said, can be murky, can be a little bit, we don't know for sure. This cocktail is like a mix of creme de menthe and creme de cacao. It is Maxine's favorite drink. If you watched Palm Royale, and if you watch my channel, I feel like maybe you want to watch this show. It is delightful. The plot is a little convoluted and kooky. I say a little, I mean a lot. It's a lot, but visually stunning. Great cast, super funny. The costumes, the sets, amazing. And so the main character, played by Kristen Wiig, her name is Maxine. She is from the South, and her favorite drink is a grasshopper cocktail. So this was a very popular cocktail in the South in the 50s and 60s, according to what I could find. Now, this pie has a lot of variations. I found so many. You know, I looked in my cookbooks, I looked online. I like to do that sometimes just to get a feel for what's out there, I guess. I found anything from a pie that starts with egg whites and gelatin, which is basically the beginnings of a marshmallow. So I found a lot of like marshmallow based pies, marshmallow cream, marshmallows, mini marshmallows that you melt. But I also found grasshopper pies that have ice cream, mint ice cream in them, mint chocolate. I found some that had vanilla pudding, Cool Whip, whipped cream, sweetened condensed milk, cream cheese. You know, so I think what happened is like it started as one thing and then it kind of evolved into like different ways of making this pie. Non-alcoholic versions kind of came from that as well, because not everybody drinks alcohol or for whatever reason. And that's kind of what I chose to do. I knew that I wasn't going to use a bottle of creme de menthe. So I went ahead and I just found a substitute. I looked into it thinking like, am I going to be missing the liquid, the sweetness, kind of what I figured out. I wasn't going to need to replace that 2 tablespoons of liquid, and I wasn't really going to need to add a lot of sweetness to it either because I had so much powdered sugar in my recipe. So that's why I went with just some mint extract. I didn't do peppermint, I did mint, so it was a little bit more spearmint flavored. And then I added some green food coloring just to make it extra festive. We got to have that green color for St. Patrick's Day. And wow, was this pie delicious. And I really love the texture. It still has that light and fluffy texture, like kind of marshmallowy, not quite. I think because you're making whipped cream, you're adding quite a bit of powdered sugar, and then you have that cream cheese. There's like enough body there to support the filling of the pie and make it sort of marshmallowy. It's not complete like liquid or mush or anything, but it still maintains that light fluffy texture. And it's got this really nice creaminess to it from, you know, the cream cheese. It does cut some of the sweetness, which is really nice. If you're not like, if you don't want anything like too sweet, it's refreshing. Like it is a refreshing dessert with the mint. I think this would be a great pie. I mean, any time of year, whatever. I love chocolate mint, anything. But great pie for Easter, for springtime. You know, take it to a cookout. You don't even have to make it as a pie. If you want to, you could just press this into like a square pan and cut it into squares. And it wasn't too hard. You know, you have to take some time. You have to plan ahead so that you have enough time to let it firm up in the refrigerator. But yeah, I just let it go overnight and it worked perfectly. So have you tried this version of Grasshopper Pie? I'd love to hear about that, so please leave me a comment. I'd like to say a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to join us over there, I'll have a link in the description so that you can do that. Please remember to look out for each other and take care of each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.